I googled Pornhub coronavirus. Turns out there's lots of coronavirus porn being made now these days. I am not surprised. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Hannah and this is another episode of Pleasure Trove. Pleasure Trove is a series on my channel where we talk about sex and relationships in the news and in culture, and as you can imagine right now coronavirus is what is in the news. This is what is happening in our lives, but there's still a lot of things that I wanted to talk about. Some are related, some are not, so if you care about sexual health and sexual well-being, there are still ways to care about it and learn about it in this time. And then there's also just some fun, escapist, silly things as well. So I hope this episode has a bit of a mix. If you're feeling a bit lost and you care about a lot of the subjects that we tend to talk about here, but you're not really sure where to focus that energy or efforts, because I certainly feel that way a lot these days, but then also just hopefully bringing some general positivity to your day. Also, my partner Dan is now working from home and I'm not used to filming with other people in the house, and it makes me really self-conscious that he can hear me, even though he has explicitly told me he does not care and he's not listening. I'm still just like, ugh. So let's just dive straight in to news. I guess the main news in this subject area at the moment is that Pornhub has made its premium service free for everyone worldwide for the next 30 days. So that's until April 23rd, for those of you who want to know. It originally just made its premium service available to Italy and then to Spain and France and now everybody. When Pornhub first made it available for Italy, they said it was to support Italy during this unfortunate time, to support them with free access to even more porn. Premium normally costs $9.99, and to be honest, I don't know what it gets you. Maybe no ads? Maybe access to some original Pornhub content? I'm not sure. Will I be taking advantage of this myself? Probably not, because I already pay for other porn sites that I want to keep supporting. And I'm always very conflicted when Pornhub do good things, because there is a lot of problems that Pornhub cause, but they're very powerful. Is it a publicity stunt? Maybe. Are millions of people grateful for the free access to premium porn? Is it premium porn or is it just premium Pornhub? Who knows? Yes, many people are probably very grateful. Pornhub also have a charitable arm, and they've announced several ways that they are helping with the effort to fight coronavirus. They're donating tens of thousands of masks to frontline workers in the US. They're donating tens of thousands of dollars to organizations in Europe to help buy masks and medical equipment. They've said that porn performers who sell their videos on Pornhub will get to keep all of the proceeds, unlike before when Pornhub would take a cut of proceeds, and they're donating $25,000 to Sex Workers Outreach Project to help sex workers who will have been affected during these times. And obviously these are all good things, and it's better that they're doing it than not doing it. So thank you, Pornhub, for that, even though I have very conflicting opinions about you. But here's one thing that I don't have a conflicting opinion about when it comes to Pornhub. I love it when they release stats. I love it when they release their analytics and their data, and they have done this for coronavirus. Sounds ridiculous. They released Pornhub's coronavirus insights, and I would just recommend having a little browse. I'm not going to do a whole reaction video to it like I did with their end of year insights, but it's just interesting to see when isolation happens in lockdown in certain countries, and the spike of people watching porn, and what time of day people are watching porn, and the different behaviors between different countries. I just find it really interesting. So when I was looking for information about all of this stuff, I googled Pornhub coronavirus. Turns out there's lots of coronavirus porn being made now these days. I did not click on any of the links, but I just saw lots of the titles. I'm not surprised. In other news, the UK government falsely announced that there would be temporary changes to abortion law. So this is in reference to a medical abortion where you take 2 pills and 2 different times. And in the UK, you can't have these pills prescribed to you at home and you can't take them at home. You have to go into a hospital or your GP. I don't know the specifics about this. I think you might be able to take one of them at home, or there's campaigns to be able to take one at home. There's definitely campaigns for you to be able to do it all at home, and especially now. So the gov.uk website had a live page that said that people seeking a medical abortion would be able to take the 2 pills at home, and then this got removed and the health secretary announced that that was falsely put there. I don't know what's going on. To be able to take the medical abortion pills at home is something that abortion rights campaigners have been fighting for a really long time. And come on, now is the time to have something like that in place. Over the next 13 weeks, 44,000 people in England and Wales are estimated to seek an early medical abortion. That is 44,000 people who will be travelling to GPs, travelling to hospitals to seek an abortion where otherwise they could be at home. The British Pregnancy Advisory Service are asking people to write to their MPs to get this changed. They have a really easy form. You basically just put in your postcode and it autofills with your MP's name, the letter that they have written out, and you just put in your details and it sends to them. So the link to that is in the description. Obviously, because of coronavirus, a lot of businesses are shutting up shop and a lot of small businesses really need help right now. And I wanted just to highlight a couple who are in the sex positivity space and ways that you can help them. So firstly, the Vagina Museum has had to close, and I have talked about them a lot before. They're currently running an emergency appeal campaign, and if you can donate anything to them to help them keep afloat during this time, that would be amazing. They are a charity and they successfully did a crowdfunding campaign in order to get their first premises in Camden Market, and now they've had to close, and it's so sad, but obviously necessary. But if you want to support them, link to that in the description as well. Also, Shush Women's Store, which is an independent sex shop in London whom I absolutely adore. Obviously they've had to close and stop all of the events that they were doing, but they do have an online shop. So if you are after some sex toys during self-isolation, then I would highly recommend getting them from Shush, as they're a feminist independent shop. And now onto the news section that I want to call Love in the Time of Coronavirus, although I've never read or seen Love in the Time of Cholera, so I don't know what happens in that story. I wanted to tell you guys about the Social Distance Project, which is started by Meg Zukin. It started with just a tweet of her asking people to tell her about their dating and romance stories in isolation. And originally she compiled a Google Doc of all of the stories that she received and charged $1 access for people to read them, and ended up raising $5,000, which has gone to charity. But now she's set up an Instagram and a website, and you can read all of these hilarious stories, and you are also still able to donate to various causes through the website. But yeah, I would highly recommend checking it out and just reading a few of the stories. Some are hilarious, some are just really cute and mundane, some you can tell that people are frustrated by living with their partners. I think it's a really cool project, and also we're all nosy about each other's lives, and this is just completely unusual times, so any form of entertainment to get us through is necessary. So next I have a book for you, and it is Mind the Gap: The Truth About Desire and How to Future-Proof Your Sex Life by Dr. Karen Gurney. I picked this up when I saw Paisley Gilmore talking about it on her Instagram, and you know I'm a sucker for a good sex science book. I just find them super interesting. I'm very excited to dive in and read this, and what better time than when you're stuck at home all day. But this is what it says. Did you know there is an orgasm gap of around 30% between heterosexual couples when they have sex. In Mind the Gap, Dr. Karen Gurney, a clinical psychologist and certified psychosexologist, explores not just this gap, but the gaps in our knowledge of so much of the most important new science around sex and desire. In this book, you will learn that nearly everything you've been led to believe about female sexuality isn't actually true. Wow, can't wait for that. And that despite what you might think, it is possible to simultaneously feel little to no spontaneous desire and have a happy and mutually satisfying sex life long term. Wow, even this blurb is very reassuring to me. Exploring the mismatch between ideas about sex in our society and what the science tells us, Mind the Gap also explains how this disconnect lies at the root of many of our sexual problems, combining science with case studies, practical exercises, and tips. This is a book for anyone who wants to better understand the mechanics of desire and future-proof their sex life for life. Wow, a lot of claims in there. It might just repeat a lot of the things that I've already learned from Emily Nagoski's Come As You Are, because there's a lot of really great stuff about desire in here that blew my mind. It fucked me up. So much so that I want to make videos about it, but I need to reread to actually be able to grasp the concepts and explain them to someone else. I'm excited to read this to see if they talk about the same kind of studies and the same science, but I think it's always good to kind of get another approach and another writer, because they'll explain things in different ways and one might resonate more with the other. But yes. Sex books! And also I wanted to share some apps with you. One app that Dan and I have downloaded recently is called Spicer, and it's one of those ones where you answer a bunch of sex questions of like things that you'd be into doing, things that you'd be into being done to you, and you either answer yes, no, or maybe to them, and then it shows you only the things that you both said yes and maybe to, but it puts everything in the yes column as the things that both of you said yes to, and then everything in the maybe column is everything that either both of you said maybe to or just one of you said maybe to. And I really like it because one, it helps you think outside of the box and it gives you ideas for different things that you could do. It really breaks down sex acts in quite a granular way, which I really like, because I think we often just think of sex as sex and we don't think of sex as like, you know, kissing someone's earlobe or something like that, which could be a huge turn on for someone. So I think it's really cool to get quite detailed with different things that you can do. When you first open the app, it gives you like a whole bunch of questions, but then eventually you run out and it's like, do you want more questions now? Pay for it. Or you wait a day and then every day you get a new question, which I quite like because that's just easier that way and it's a bit more chill, and each day you and your partner can discuss what the one was that day. So yeah, Spicer is an app that I'm enjoying at the moment. And then another app that I wanted to tell you about, which I haven't actually used myself, but it just sounds so cool, is Vibease. Vibease? Vibease. I don't know. But it's basically a sex toy that connects to an audio erotica app. And there's a few sex toys out there that have its own app. Mystery Vibe is one of them as well. Mystery Vibe has like lots of different motors in it that you can control individually, and you can create settings on the app and you can pick which part of the vibrator is going to be vibrating. And Vibease have loads of audio erotica, audio porn on their website that you can access if you want to listen to some sexy, sexy stories. And then you can connect it to your actual physical vibrator, and when like hot and sexy stuff is happening in the story, it like vibrates and it like does stuff that's in line with what's going on in the story. And I'm just like, wow, technology, man. I love the sex tech industry. It's so cool and terrifying sometimes, but some of it is really cool. That's all for this episode of Pleasure Trove. Thanks so much for watching. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and let me know in the comments your thoughts on some of the things that we discussed, and I really hope that you are staying well and staying inside. Make sure to subscribe because I'm posting new videos every week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!